Hey everyone, welcome back to VIR for Race 2. In Race 1, we were able to recover from our poor form at Mid-Ohio and got our record best finish of 4th. And I believe that sets us up for our best starting position of the season as well. It's a really tight field with the top 9 all within 1 second. Our goal is to stick to the 3 cars in front of us for as long as we can, and as long as we stay close-ish through the tight corners, we'll stay in their draft and we'll be able to hang on. If we can do that, then maybe towards the end of the race we'll be in a position where we can attack and possibly get on the podium. Let's see. Taking a quick look at the circuit, it's the same track as last race, so there's no surprises. Turn 1 is a good passing opportunity, but you need to be smart about it because it can leave you vulnerable going down the back straight into the roller coaster, where the car you just passed in turn 1 can get you back. And if they get you there, as we saw in race 1, there really isn't another chance before the end of the lap. So keep that in mind for the end of the race. Looking at the championship going into the race, we're 28 points behind Dave Petsko, and a 4th place finish awards 34 points. Dave is racing at an SCCA major this weekend, so if we don't have any big mistakes or any bad luck, there's a good chance that we can jump ahead of him. So let's jump ahead in the pace lap and get ready for the start. So coming on in the front straightaway to take the green, getting into formation. We're going to be on the outside, on the left-hand side of the track, so we'll be on the outside for turn 1. Which could make it tricky to hold on to our position, but if we can do that, then we'll be on the advantageous part of the track for turns 2 and 3. So keeping our eye just over the Armco. It's hard to see with the green trees behind them, but it's easier to see in real life than it is in the video, of course. And there's the green flag, so we get a good start. We have to keep station around the outside of turn 1. There's Burton just a little bit ahead of us. It looks like we've been able to hold our position. As you can see, Ryan's front wheel just peeking into view there. We're going to have the advantage into 3 and into 4, but then it's a quick switchback, so see if we can hold him off here. And you look in the mirror. Looks like Ryan slots in behind us. So we'll keep our eyes up, keep our eyes focused on Burton in front of us, and try to close that gap. It shouldn't be too difficult in the drafts. Like I said in the last race, these S's up here are fast enough that they really count as a straightaway, since we don't have wings, so we're able to zoom through them without any sort of arrow push or anything like that. You can see the front 2 cars, Jonathan Kotick and Josh Green, already pulling away at a pretty rapid pace. Looks like Bryce Aaron got in front of Ryan Bjork behind us. Now, what's going to happen at the end of this straightaway? Is he going to be able to catch up to us, or are we going to be able to catch up to Burton? Looks like we're not quite close enough to make a move. Again, I'm going to have to fix that wobbly camera. Hopefully the rest of the videos aren't all like this. And Bryce has closed up right onto our gearbox. It looks like he popped inside to make a move. He's going to get the advantage from Burton's draft right here. So I slot in behind him. Maybe I can follow him through. But I decide to stay on the outside, and I leave the door wide open for Ryan as well. So I lost 2 places in one corner, but looks like Burton has a problem, so I get 1 spot back. And I think he's dropped all the way back there. He might be out of the race. As I lose another position, and as Nori gets around, but that might be Dexter Zuba, I'm not really sure. But in a matter of 1 or 2 corners, I lost 2 positions. I lost 3 positions and I gained 1. That's just how quickly things can change. Just have to stop the bleeding and stick with this pack for as long as I can. Try to reel them back in and work my way through it again. You can see me changing the bar, the front anti-roll bar, trying to get a little bit more grip in the front. This car tends to trend towards understeer. You can see Scott Rubenzer in the black spectrum behind me in the mirror. I get a good exit. I take advantage of these 3 cars in front of me punching a huge hole through the air. See if we can catch back up to them and maybe make a move. Looks like we've gained a little bit of ground through the twisty parts. That's a good sign. It's really nice to see this car behaving so well under braking. It took us a long time to get there, but the results are paying dividends. Looks like Scott Rubenzer is really closing the gap in our draft. The Pelfrey car takes Ryan's position. Ryan brakes early. Think about making a move, but it was just too late. But we've definitely got this car working really well under the brakes. If you look in the mirrors, it looks like Scott Rubenzer has fallen back. I'm not sure if he had a problem or if we're just going a little bit faster. We're doing a good job hanging on to these cars in front of us. I think that's him behind us, so it looks like he's just slowed down a little bit. Which allows us to keep our eyes forward and focus on this battle in front of us and see if we can take advantage of any missteps that these cars make. Or hopefully just use the tools that we have to stick our nose in and maybe make up a spot or two. Looks like the Pelfrey and Cahill cars are starting to pull away just a little bit. And now we've got a good run. Move to the inside. Try to outbrake Ryan. And textbook overtake. Now it's going to be hard to get significantly in front of him, but hopefully we can take advantage of the draft in front of us and close this gap to the two cars in front. Ryan moves to the outside. We're going to have to stay to the inside. And we're easily able to hold our position as we finally got the car working under the brakes, under heavy braking. It took us about a year and a half to get to where we are. And at least one fairly big crash, but finally got it working. Ryan's in a good position to overtake us this time by. So he inches closer in the mirror and pops out the pass. Of course, at this point in the race, it's best to just let him go and not fight for it, especially since we're trying to reel these two cars in front of us in. There's no use in just slowing both of us down. And we've still got Scott Rebenzer there, keeping us honest. It seems like he's been able to close in a little bit. There's the crossed green and white flags halfway through the race. Oh, a bit of oversteer. And again, Ryan closes in, pops out the pass, and it looks like he's going to easily get us before the roller coaster. And just like last lap, we're halfway through the race, in the middle of the race. There's no point slowing both of us down, fighting side by side for position. same thing again. So the last couple laps have repeated themselves. Just like I said in the opening. You overtake the car in front into turn 1. They're just going to get you right back again down the back straightaway into the roller coaster. And I feel like this is going to play itself out for the rest of the race. So it's best to be... And here we go again. We're going to take Ryan into turn 1. He's going to get us down the back straight in the roller coaster. So right now we're basically just doing research and trying to figure out how things work, and then trying to play through your mind different scenarios for the last lap of the race, because it seems like we're locked together. The cars in front of us, they keep inching away, so we're probably not going to catch them unless there's a full course yellow. So it's pretty much just me and Ryan right now. It tends to happen at circuits where the draft plays a really big role. You get a little bit of separation and then the cars in front pull ahead, but if you have someone near you, you're going to be locked in with them. It looks like Ryan thinks about pulling a pass into the S's. This is a really ballsy place to do it. And he gets ahead, so I let him go. Pretty risky place to make a pass, but this is actually good for me if something like this happens on the last lap, because you want to be behind going into Oak Tree. We get a little bit of lockup. So now if we can get a good exit, and if we're close enough, we might be able to get him into Oak Tree, or into Roller Coaster rather. Like we're not quite close enough. You can see a full course yellow on the left there. Not a local yellow. There's a black car off in the grass. That's Scott Rubenzer. He's 2 for 2 with spinning and hog pen. He spun in the first race, pretty much right in front of us. So now the question is, are they going to go full course yellow to retrieve him, or are they just going to leave it under local yellow? And he was far enough off the track that it doesn't look like he's that much of a danger, but also he might have to just sit in the car for the entire rest of the race, so they might want to retrieve him. Keeping an eye on the flag stand, still pushing the car, still racing until you see the full course yellow or the safety car. But just keeping in mind that it might come out. Of course, there's also a possibility that Scott might have just gathered up his car and driven away on his own power. There's nothing that says he has stuck there. There's no gravel traps at VIR. It's all just either track or grass. There's still no full course yellow, so either Scott was able to get back on track and continue on, or maybe they're keeping it under local yellow. And we'll see the next time we go by. And I'm not sure why I've pulled out of this draft. Maybe I'm just trying to get cool air through the engines again, like I was last lap. But I didn't see the alarm go off, so I'm not entirely sure what that was about. Or maybe I'm trying to stay behind him. There's the standing yellow flag again, and you can probably see the cars we go over the crest. So it looks like they're just going to stop, or it looks like they're just going to leave him there as I struggle to get the car into gear. And that allows Ryan to get way far ahead. Hopefully we're not too far back. Looks like we're able to gain a little bit under braking, of course. That could just be the accordion effect. pound these curves. Looks like we're catching him a little bit. Hopefully we can close the rest of the gap on the back straightaway. He locks up a little bit, so that's really going to help us. So there's the yellow flag again. So that's 3 laps in a row that they've had this standing yellow. So it's pretty obvious now that it's going to be that way towards the end of the race. Now it's really important because it takes out the last desperate opportunity for an overbraking maneuver as we gain a whole lot of ground onto Ryan in front of us here. Looks like we're holding off to make a pass for whatever reason. But now we have to remember that you can't pass under a standing yellow. So going into hog pen is not a viable option to make a desperate last corner pass. So that's something we have to keep in mind as we get closer and closer to the end of the race. If we're in front, then we have to remember that as Ryan drops 2 wheels off, he's starting to make a couple mistakes here and there. And we're right back on his gearbox. There's the white flag, so we're on to the last lap. It's now or never. We're going to have to figure out a place to make a move. Now really the only option is down the back straightaway into the roller coaster. Of course, we're going to have to be close enough to do it. And there have been plenty of laps where we've gotten a good exit, we've been in the draft, and we just don't have the horsepower to close the gap with enough momentum to pop out and make a move. So we'll see if we can do that on this lap. It's by no means a given. Ryan defends going into the S's. I'm never going to try past there, especially not from this far back. There's no braking going on into these corners, so you really need a good run if you're going to make a move. So now this is the most critical corner of the track. We get on the power as soon as we can, but not too early. I think we got a decent exit, get some good shifts. If we miss a shift, then we're toast. Stay in his draft as long as we can. We're starting to build up momentum. We're looking to the inside. and we've got so much momentum that we just scoot on past, and he's able to get into our draft, but not nearly close enough. So now his only option is to get a good run through hog pen. He's definitely thinking about it as he pops in, and out. He looked. No, you can't do that, Ryan. Good heads-up driving from him, realizing his mistake, but now it comes to a drag race. Just like the last stretch in the first race, but this time the positions are reversed. I stay to the inside, force him to the outside. And come up to the line. And there's the finish, and it's impossible to see from this angle, but we do just get him. So a very similar finish to the first race, except this time we came out on top. Josh Green takes the win ahead of Jonathan Kotick, Dexter Zuba, and Bryce Aaron, so the Cahill and Pelfrey cars lock out the first four positions. We get 31 points for 5th place, so that leaves us ahead of Dave Petsko, as we were hoping in the intro, continuing our climb up towards the front of the championship leaderboard. So overall, I think this was a pretty satisfying win. Well, not win, but it kind of felt like a win because at a certain point in the race, it was pretty much just me and Ryan fighting with each other. So to be able to come out in front in a fairly strategic way, was pretty satisfying. So that'll do it for race 2. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you soon for race 3.